Now that you're familiar with changing between the two chords, E minor and D6, we're going to take a closer look at the rhythm that we want for the song with those two chords in it. So we have our E minor and our D6/9. And what we've done in the previous lesson was just doing down strums, so going in a downward direction towards the floor, hitting all the strings. What I'd like you to do for me this time is still keeping the same beat, so the same speed, and still doing the same action with your hands, so going down. What I'd like you to do is we're going to make use of coming back up. So every time we do a downward strum, we have to bring our hand back upwards so that we can do the next downward strum. So we just want to avail of that upward movement, and we're going to aim to make this plectrum connect with the thinnest string, the first string. Now, it's not a very specific thing, it's not like we just have to target that one string, but if you aim for that thinner string, you will probably connect with 2 or 3 strings on the way back up, and then we should have the right amount for the upward strum. We want the upward strums to be a little bit lighter than the downward strums. So the downward strums are on the beat, so they're good and strong, and we want these upward strums to be a little bit lighter, so we're not going to connect with all the strings coming back up. So let's give that a try. So I'm going to count to 4 so we can start at the same time. After 4, 2, 3, 4. We have our E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then change. 2, 3, 4. Back to E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then change. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Was that changing a little bit difficult? If so, just stick with the one chord, or if your fingers are sore, you don't even have to hold down the chord just to get used to that movement, so the downward and upward movement. So we'll try it with just the E minor chord. I won't change chords, we'll just stay on that one chord and we'll just practice getting that movement right, and then we'll go back to adding in the second chord. So we have our E minor, so after 4 together, 2, 3, 4, E minor. Okay, so remember, keep the upstroke nice and light, just connecting with 1 or 2 strings on the way back up. And again, very important that the downward strums are on the beat. Nice and strong downward strings. Okay, so make sure you practice that so that your right hand can do it really automatically without thinking, and then you can focus a little bit more on your left hand, so moving the chords. So that will probably require a little bit more of your attention. Let's give it a try adding in the second chord. So we have E minor first of all, 4 downward strums, then changing to the D6. Okay, so like this, after 4, 2, 3, 4. So you have 3, 4, then change 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, and change. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we'll leave it there. Now, did you remember to include the upstroke after the 4th down strum? I find a lot of students leave that out because it does give you more time to change chords, but we want to make sure that that upstroke is still in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, then the upstroke, and then changing chords. Okay. try to avoid the temptation of moving your fingers, your left hand fingers, too early. So we don't want something like this. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now you might argue that in this song maybe it doesn't sound any different, but we want to get into the habit of making sure that we keep our fingers in position until the very last moment, and then changing our fingers so that they arrive in time for the first beat of the next chord. Okay. So again, make sure you practice that, changing between the two chords, getting the rhythm nice and even. Try and get your right hand playing so it's basically automatic, you don't have to think about it so much, and then you're ready to move on to the next lesson.